All right, I'll be working on this ISEO 6500 MC. It does have a magnetic component on the second pin. You can see that is a little magnet right there. All right, putting tension, decent amount of tension, nothing too heavy, just a little bit of firmness, nothing on 1. 2, had a little bit of movement on the magnetic. 3, little click on 3. 4 feels set. Going around 5. And 5 give me a little click with a little rotation. Okay, working my way back up. Little tap, I made it even deeper. Check 1. 1 has a little kind of rotation. Okay, good on 1. Checking the element, kind of rubbing on it. 4 set, and looks like the last one is 6, and we're open. All right, so let's talk through this pick. So let's keep this in frame. Let's take this out, and let's talk through it real quick. And so real quick, how did I get past the magnetic element? I spent $12 on this Klein Tools magnetizer. So all I did was pretty much just rub this through the magnetizer a couple times, which is this side, and now it is magnetized. And what I do is, I don't want to always magnetize. So what I do is I just kind of just do this and see how I grab it and it kind of pulls. I will just now put it through the demagnetizer on this side, because I don't want it magnetized all the time. So let's just real quick demagnetize it. And there's a little pull. See that little pull? Maybe it should, yep. See that pull? I don't want that. So let's just do a couple more things and demagnetize it. And there's still a little pull on it. Come on. Maybe I'll go a little bit wider to get the metal. Not near. There's a little bit of pull left, but not nearly as much. It doesn't stay. You can see it does have a tiny bit left, and that's okay though. It really won't pick anything up. I'll mess with it a little bit longer. Don't want you to sit here while I'm gutting, but that's how I did it. Just easy, cheap, and I just stick it on my little metal tray up there. All right, so that is how I bypassed. Well, didn't bypass. That's how I pulled the pin up that was magnetized. All right, so let's cut this real quick. Okay. I'm not taking the back off, so I'm glad it's somewhat doable to take off. Got my wrench back here? I sure do. Okay, let's get this off. All right, there we go. Not bad. Not bad to come off. I have not taken this apart yet, so I have no clue what I'm in store for. All right, so that came off. I should have put on this little guy here, but I didn't. All right, let's take this apart. Now I'm rolling the dice on whether or not I need a shim. I'm gonna hope I don't. And you get to watch me destroy this lock if I do need it, because I have yet to take this apart. It does seem to stop. You might need to shim it. It does seem to need to stop on that magnetic point. So I might need to put this up, let the magnetic point go in, and shim it. Let's see if that works. I don't seem to be able to get past a certain point. I'm not sure if there's a reason for it. Let's get everything straight. Okay, I'm gonna get a new shim. I apologize for this. I've yet to take this apart, so I guess we get to see what is going on with this thing. This is how deep I gotta go. So I'm definitely not there. Apologize for this. I really should turn this around. Okay, I got the shim in there now. Let's see what we're working with here. Alright, good. I was able to get it out. Oh, that was a pin, but here's all the pins right here. You can see them all. Okay, there's all 6. Let's work these out. Okay, there's the first pin. Second pin doesn't want to work for me. It's probably because it's magnetized. That's 3. This is 4. 4's a long pin. Out. Here's 5 and 6. Okay, so this one came out first, so it belongs here, and this one belongs here. And then you have this guy who's not coming out yet, which makes sense because the magnet's pulling it towards it. Just drop you out. So that guy right there should be magnetic, I'm assuming, or maybe it's the pin on the other side. I'm not exactly sure what pulls that up. I think it's magnetic. Let's look at the tip. Yeah, there's a little magnet. Can you see that? I want you to see the core back there. I'm not moving it. You see? So a little tip, magnetic. Anyway, let's take this apart. So, this first pin is a spool. I got a shim in there. Nothing in the second pin, which makes sense because again, magnet pulls it up. Here's the third guy. Well, that's interesting. The third one, the tiniest. Look at that. That is crazy. Okay, spool comes out of 4. I'm gonna pull this spring out. This is the spring that is on number 3. It's a very tall spring. Look at that. Wow, that is interesting. Again, not sure why that is a thing. And the last one is this spool coming out. Very interesting. As you can see, take a look. You can see the springs in there. So definitely springs. But that is just very interesting. So what fell out there, I'm assuming, is what goes to. What's very interesting about that, look at that. That is another key pin. I should have paid attention where those things came out of. That's another key pin. Anything else in there? Okay, so here's your springs. Actually 2, look at this. Look at that, very interesting. I gotta see if there's any springs left in here. No other springs, that is intriguing. Well, this is me taking it apart. I am very intrigued by that. Very interesting. There's gotta be more springs in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I drop it? I gotta have to look at the video replay to see. I don't see another spring. I will definitely have to look. One could easily be stuck in there. Very, very interesting. I can't easily see in there. Let's see what we got. No. Nope. What actually makes sense is actually this is magnetic. So actually what makes sense is that would make sense. Because this gets pulled up by the magnet so there'd be no spring on it. Okay, so that makes sense. And then what doesn't make sense is where did these two things go? So I'll have to watch another video on someone else picking it to try to figure out why there's 2 more pins. It does not make sense to me. Do they shove them into here? This is the first time I took it apart, so I'm not sure, and the pictures on the LPU belt don't show it. So this is a long video, and I apologize. We are on Discovery at the same time. All right, but that's all I got. Close up at the pins. I'm going to look up where those pins went because they fell out. I should have taken the time and tried to take them out as I was pulling out the follower. I didn't. That was my mistake, but we all learn. All right, I'm going to merge these videos and add it to the end because I looked it up, someone else having it. So this is the proper gut. So what happened was, and it makes complete sense. So I'll zoom in. So basically, these 2 pins are in the in the Bible to basically get this close enough so that way when you have something magnetic go near it, it pulls up. Because obviously if these two pins weren't there, it would be all at the bottom. And when you put the key in, it would be nowhere near this magnetic point. So these two are actually inside of the Bible, kind of holding this close, but not quite to the key, but it's close enough where the magnetic components pull it towards each other. So it makes complete sense. So this is actually the pinning, what it would look like if you took it apart.